I'm going to show you 3 phrases that will help you do small talk so that you never feel awkward again. If you've ever been stuck in that moment before a meeting where you don't know what to say, this video is going to help you. Here's what most non-native English speakers get wrong about small talk. They think it's just a way to sound friendly or a way to start connecting with people. And yes, you can connect with people, but it's more than that. It's how you signal I'm approachable and I'm confident in the first 30 seconds of meeting them. If you skip it, if you don't do small talk, people are going to think that you're distant and off business. And when you do it awkwardly, it feels uncomfortable. But when you have a few phrases ready to go in your back pocket to start a small talk and conversation, you feel more confident and more natural. And you sound professional without overthinking it. I've worked with hundreds of professionals on this. How to use small talk to show that you're confident at work. These 3 phrases work in almost any situation. Section 1. What small talk actually does. Small talk is not just about being friendly or trying to connect with people. Yes, that's part of it. It's an identity tool. It shows people what type of interaction this is going to be from the start, and then it makes it smooth and easy from the beginning. Let me show you 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1, you walk into the meeting, no small talk, no nothing. You don't even make eye contact with people. You feel awkward and maybe like everyone's looking at you. People might think that you're distant or hard to connect with. Second, you try to do small talk, but everything feels awkward. None of the words you're saying make sense in your head, and now you feel like everyone's looking at you, and that establishes how the interaction and how people are going to view you throughout the entire meeting. Third, you do it naturally. You walk into the room, you say, how's it going? That's just one example, there are many. And everything feels natural, everything feels smooth, everything feels in place, and that establishes how the meeting is going to go afterwards and how people are going to view you as well. Small talk quietly shows how smooth the interaction is going to be from the beginning onward. The reason this is the case is about patterns. Patterns help us feel comfortable. If you know what's going to happen, you now feel more comfortable and at ease. If you think about it, you typically don't know how a deep conversation or a meeting is going to go. That sense of I don't know what's going to happen makes you feel uncertain. So what small talk does with these patterns, which the phrases I'm going to use you help you establish these patterns even more, knowing that small talk is going to go a certain way, right? Because small talks are patterns. You expect them to go a certain way. And that expectation, when it's fulfilled, when it happens, gives you ease of mind. You feel less stressed, less uncertain about what's going to happen. And that makes you feel more comfortable when the meeting actually starts. So pay attention to what you're doing. Are you skipping small talk? Are you sounding awkward? Once you start seeing these patterns, you're going to feel more comfortable at a meeting. And keep in mind, this applies not just to meetings, but to interactions in general. Section 2. The 3 types of small talk. There are 3 types of small talk: rapport, transition, and exit. Rapport is a nice way of saying connecting with someone, and that builds warmth. You can use it before a meeting or in the hallways. For example, you could say, how's your week been? How's it going? You can even talk about the weather. Remember, you're not trying to have a deep conversation. You're just letting the other person know, I see you, I acknowledge you, and now that you've seen me and acknowledged me, we can have a very small conversation, and this pattern of a small talk is going to make us feel at ease. Deep down, the other person and yourself are going to know, yes, we're just trying to make ourselves feel better before the big meeting. The second type is transition small talk. These are specific words you can use to signal that you're transitioning into a more formal conversation. Words like anyway, so, or well can be used to transition. Make sure you get the intonation right too. You're not going to say, it was nice talking to you. Anyway, let's get down to business. No, make sure you get the melody right. You can say anyway or so, and then you start talking about the business or you start talking about what the meeting's about. Of course, if you're the one chairing or leading the meeting, then you can use phrases like, all right, so let's dive in. Let's dive in is something the boss would say. It's not something you would say if you're just at the meeting. Keep that in mind. Very important. Exit small talk wraps up the conversation. You can say things like, all right, it was nice chatting with you. Let's catch up after the meeting. Or, all right, I'll let you get back to it. This gives a clean and friendly ending. When you know which type to use, you no longer feel lost. You no longer feel like, oh, what am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to say it? Remember, the key point here is recognizing the patterns of small talk, because recognizing the patterns is what's going to help you to feel more comfortable and at ease in the conversation. If you want to go deeper on this and see your current conversational patterns and what it says about your identity, I know exactly what you need to do. I created a free tool that shows you what your fluency identity could be and exactly how to get there. Go to the link down below and click it, fill out a quick form, and it'll show you exactly your fluency personality. Section 3, small talk by identity. The phrases you choose to use for small talk will depend on your identity. Friendly connectors use phrases like, hey, how's it going? Or how's everything been so far? Or we should catch up soon. These phrases make the interaction more warm and collaborative. And the more you use them, the more people will perceive you as this friendly connector. Remember, identity, you can view it as a trail. The more you walk on that trail, and the less grass will be on that trail, the more easy or the easier it will be to walk on that trail. That means that you'll feel more comfortable saying these phrases the more you use them and the more people accept them, so to speak. And they accept them by responding to you. Again, it's that pattern of using the phrase, the person responding, and then you replying back to them. That pattern makes you feel more confident and comfortable, makes you feel at ease, but it also makes you feel more like that friendly connector you want to be. The same thing goes with calm explainers. These people are going to use phrases like, how's everything on your end? Or everything good on your end? These phrases make people feel at ease. Again, by using these phrases consistently in every small talk interaction you're in, several people are going to view you as the calm explainer. Remember, you're not faking a personality. You're being yourself. You're being the kind of person you want to be. And the phrases you choose to use in that moment are going to make you feel more comfortable in that role. You can even say them out loud until it feels natural. Section 4, the 3-step small talk formula. Here's a simple formula. Open, listen, then exit or transition. Step 1, open with a safe question. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how was your weekend? Remember, you're not trying to find out about their life story. You're signaling to them, I recognize you and I acknowledge you. Step 2, listen for the hook in their response. If they say, good, busy week, you can say something like, yeah, same here. And if you want to follow up with another question, you can just ask the other question. What's keeping you busy? The key is recognizing when they're giving you a short answer and want to just leave the conversation there versus them asking you a follow-up questions because maybe they do want to have something a little bit deeper. Remember, you're reading the situation, not following a script. Step 3, transition or exit based on context. Remember, the small talk you have with someone in an elevator versus someone passing by you in the hallway, what's going to be different is the timing. How long is that interaction going to last? But the structure, the pattern is going to remain the same. You open up with a safe question, they respond, and then you choose ending it right there or continuing a little bit more. That's it. Keeping in mind another factor, familiarity. How long have you known this person for? Of course, if it's someone you've just met a week ago, that small talk is going to go a little bit different than with someone you've known for 3 years. You need to keep these things in mind that it's a pattern. And that pattern, that structure that we're talking about right now is what's going to help you feel at ease in the conversation and in the interaction that follows that, if any. And that really is the difference between sounding scripted and sounding natural. Try visualizing yourself making small talk before a meeting, in an elevator, at a coffee shop. Imagine these situations and how they would go, keeping that structure in mind. Opening the conversation with a safe question, they respond, and then you choose to continue or to exit it. And remember, if you start the small talk, typically you can control the flow. So if you choose to continue the conversation, that's totally fine. If you choose to end it right there, that's totally fine. So my students, today we've established the purpose of small talks before a meeting and before casual conversations. If before a meeting, the purpose is to establish what type of interaction is this going to be. The purpose is not to sound friendly or to connect with them only. No, that has its function. But it's mainly to say, hey, I see you, I acknowledge you, I see your presence, and now you see mine. We also learned that the phrases you choose to use in small talk will be determined by your identity and your role. And the purpose of small talk is also to feel at ease with the other person. Remember, we're afraid of deep conversations because we don't know how they're going to go. They can go anywhere. So by using small talk, we establish a pattern, and that pattern helps you feel at ease because you know, okay, I know exactly how small talk is supposed to go, and it went that way. Whew, I feel relieved. We also learned that the small talk you have in an elevator versus the small talk you have before a meeting or at a coffee shop or just passing someone by is going to be a little bit different. What stays the same is the patterns, the structure we spoke about. You open with a safe question, the person responds, and since you started the small talk, you can choose to continue or to end it. Over the next week, pay attention to how others do small talk and try to start small talk yourself. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult for some of you, but I know you can do it, my students. That awareness is the first step to controlling your fluency identity. If you want to go deeper and get personalized feedback on your patterns to see what exactly is working and what is not working and learn how to control your fluency identity, click the link down below and schedule a demo call with me. We'll go through your specific situations and I'll show you how the DC Fluency program can help you. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it for more content. I post videos like this every single week about fluency identity, professional communication skills, etc. See you in the next one.